Do you want to learn how you can avoid getting caught out by distractors in Part C of the OET listening test? Well, in this video, I'm going to show you some questions from the real exam so that you can finally learn how to develop this OET superpower. Keep watching because you won't want to miss this. Hi there everyone and welcome to this video. My name is Grace and I am an OET teacher at Swoosh English. Now, many people consider Part C of the OET listening test to be especially challenging, and this is often down to distractors. So it's absolutely essential when you are preparing for OET listening that you know what distractors are and how to identify them so that you don't get caught out on test day. So in this video, I'll first go over distractors and explain exactly what we mean by these, and then we'll take a look at some real OET exam listening questions and help you identify these for yourself. Here we go then. This is how to avoid getting caught out by distractors in OET listening Part C. We'll begin with a quick overview of Part C of the listening test. So you will listen to two extracts, usually an interview and a presentation, or it could be two interviews and two presentations. And the extracts last for about 4 to 5 minutes each. And you will have to answer 6 3-option multiple choice questions for each extract. You will be assessed on your ability to listen for detail, identify the speaker's opinion, or even identify their attitude. So that's listening Part C. Now, what do we mean when we say distractors? Can you think what distractors might be? Have you heard this term before? Maybe pause the video here and take a moment to consider what this might mean before you continue. Okay, let's continue then. What exactly are distractors? A distractor is information in the text or audio which may contain words or phrases from one of the answer options that makes it look like the correct answer. The purpose of a distractor is to be misleading. And to avoid falling into this trap of distractors, it's really important that you know how to spot them. So we're going to do a few examples in this video to help you spot distractors. So let's do some practice here. I'm going to show you a few questions from a listening, but first, here is the context statement. So as you know, in listening Part C, you'll always have a statement like this, which tells you who you're going to listen to, what you're going to listen to, and what they're going to talk about. So you can see here that we're listening to an occupational therapist called Tom Evans. It's a presentation, and he's going to talk about research into lifestyle changes for older patients. So now we have the context. Let's go to our first question. Here is our question. So we have a question with 3 possible answers. The first thing that you need to do is identify what the question is asking you. So picking out the keywords in the question, we've got what feature most impressed Tom. So we know that we need to be listening out for a feature, and we're going to be trying to understand Tom's opinion. So what most impressed him. Now we know what the question is asking, let's look at the answer options and identify the key words. So if you'd like to, you can pause here and try and identify the keywords in these answer options. Here we go then. We've got a long period, wide range of patient groups, and large number of respondents. So now we know how each of the answer options are different. We can go to the audio transcript and see if we can identify the answers. Now I'm going to talk first about option A. We've got the long period over which data was collected. If we look at the transcript, we can see that there is in fact a mention of a period over which the data was collected. It says that this study was conducted over 25 years. However, this is our first example of a distractor, because as you can see, if you read around this, it's not talking about this long period impressing our speaker. So remember, our question is asking for the feature that most impressed Tom. It mentions the period of time, and you could say that 25 years is a long period of time, but it doesn't say anything here about him being impressed by that. So that's our first distractor. Let's look now at option C. We've got the large number of respondents involved. Once again, it does mention a number of respondents. It says over 8,000 subjects. Again, this could be considered a large number. It doesn't actually say that, but more importantly, again, it doesn't say that this is what impressed our speaker. So we have another distractor here. It mentions the number of respondents, but it's not quite the correct answer. So now let's go to option B, the wide range of patient groups. And if we refer back to our transcript, it says here most crucial is the fact that it involved people from different backgrounds. So you can see here that you've had to kind of infer this answer because it doesn't say, the speaker doesn't actually say, this is what most impressed me, but he says most crucial is the fact that it involved people from different backgrounds. So we've kind of had to imply the answer there from his meaning, but we've got our answer there, option B. Let's take a look at another question now. So we're going to go through exactly the same process. We're going to look at the keywords in the question. Here we go. So we've got one finding of his own research, particularly important. And then we're going to look for our keywords in the answer options. So here we go. We've got inform other studies, previously neglected area, issue affects so many people. So now we're going to go to the text. Let's see if we've got any more distractors. First, I'm going to talk about option A, can inform other studies on aging. Now, if we go to the transcript, we can see that there is in fact a mention of other studies. This finding confirms that of many other studies conducted over the years. Now, if you weren't listening carefully and you just heard other studies, that might lead you to think it was the correct answer. But you can see this is another distractor because although it mentions other studies, it doesn't say anything about how it can inform other studies. In fact, it says this finding confirms. So it actually contradicts this option. So we've got another distractor there. And I'll just touch on option B because again, we've got other studies mentioned. It doesn't say anything about a previously neglected area. So again, this actually contradicts option B. Not really a distractor. But option C then touches an issue that affects so many people. If we refer down to the transcript here, it says the incidence of these is so common. So common being paraphrasing there. It affects many people. It's so common. And has such dire consequences that I feel this finding is of potential value. So you can again see how this has been paraphrased. In the question, it says it's particularly important, and the speaker actually says, I feel it's of potential value. So you can see once again, we've got use of distractors, and also here we have to kind of infer the correct answer from what the speaker says. So hopefully those examples have given you a good idea of distractors and how they might be used in the OET listening test. Let's now go over a few top tips for Part C. Firstly, as we did when we were practicing, you should start by identifying keywords in the question, as this is going to give you an idea of exactly what the question is asking for and what information you need to listen out for. You should carefully read the answer options to understand how they are different. So again, like we did, look at the keywords and make sure you really understand how they're different. And you can also even think about how you might hear these in a distractor form in the audio. Be prepared for those distractors. Listen carefully to ensure you choose the correct answer. Even if you hear some words or phrases from an answer option, it does not mean it's correct. So it's very important that you stay focused and listen for detail. And it can help to eliminate incorrect answer options as you listen. So like we did earlier, we went through each answer option and eliminated it and sort of decided why it wasn't correct. So try to do this as you listen, as then you'll be more likely to get the correct answer. And listen out for words or phrases that signal the speaker's opinion or attitude. In the examples that we did just now, we were listening for something that was most impressive for the speaker, they felt was most important. Listen out for the types of words and phrases that introduce an opinion or attitude, as this is going to really help you with those types of questions. Now we want to hear from you. Please let us know in the comments below if you have any questions, or even let us know about your own experience with distractors. You never know, your comment might help someone else. Now remember that the fastest way to improve your OET skills is through consistent practice and expert feedback. So if you're looking to improve your skills fast and know where you're going wrong and where you need to improve, head on over to our website, www.swooshenglish.com, so you can browse our OET packages. We've helped thousands of students pass their OET exam on the first attempt, and we would love to help you next. So thanks again for tuning in, and I will see you very soon for more OET content.